Hi, we're Jay and
Nairi.
and we spent part of the year in England on our narrow boat.
Lanyap.
I'm a musician and I rock the locks.
And I take the tiller in hand.
Join our crew
while we second line through this madcap parade and bring a bit of Mardi Gras to the canals.
Episode 3. Willkommen nach Berlin. So we hit Berlin, got off the train, got lost, even though we were right where we were supposed to be from the train to our Airbnb. But the place around us was real sketch, and some sketchy stuff happened while we were there. But I got to see my brothers and sisters in Werewolf, got to hang with them and meet actually in person instead of just talking online. They were killer that night, along with Skull Maniacs. They were awesome. It was such a cool show. And Berlin was really cool, other than the stuff that happened, but got to see them and we became fast friends. And now we're gonna play shows together, so awesome. Hey, this is Jay. Why haven't you subscribed yet? Just click the subscribe button and see more of this. No, I meant the boat, not you. The next day, we just kind of explored Berlin a little bit. We just kind of cruised the city, and we did go to Cortex Records, which is world famous record store, and it's just super cool. Dropped off a bunch of our Tracy and the Phantom Punks flyers, and we just kind of went on a walk around Berlin and found some vegan food there, and really good. And then we just took off. We went back to Arnsberg and just regrouped. But I'm gonna see Sven and Michael soon because I just got some good news from my really good friend Nancy, who's Marky Ramone's publicist. And so Nancy calls me on WhatsApp and says, "Hey, Marky's doing a tour of Germany. Would you like to go?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'd like to go." So she hooked me, Nairi, Sven and Michael from Werewolf all up. So we went and met up in Dortmund. We stayed at this killer hotel. We met Michael and Sven at the train station. We were waiting for the train, and the train's late. And so we were like sketching because it's supposed to start soon. So I noticed these two dudes with Ramon shirts, and they were, maybe we could split a cab. Sure enough, Michael went over there and talked to him, and then 6 of us piled in a cab and then went to the show and got right in, had an awesome time. Marky was killer. The Real Sickies opened the show and they were awesome too. And then we got to go backstage and hang out with Marky and the band. Awesome night. All thanks to my friend Nancy. And Nancy is Marky's publicist, and she also has a sanctuary. Feel free to donate. I'll put the link down below. And she also has MS. So she has another charity called Rock Against MS, and she holds an annual concert every year to raise money for multiple sclerosis. So I'll put that link down below too. We're gonna stop and get some vegan food. I found this Ukrainian vegan place in Dortmund, and it was killer. Germany, top notch. So we're heading back to Arnsberg now.
After our wonderful time in Dortmund, we headed back to Arnsberg where my aunt lives. She's actually on the outskirts near Neheim, but we just took a quick train ride into Arnsberg after the big city part and it's just beautiful. It's up on a hill, and it looks like it came out of a storybook. We went and we tried to find the old castle ruins that were there and came across so many fabulous surprises. I mean, every little town you go to, you find all these beautiful, amazing little places. When we were hanging at my aunt's, she pulled out some old photographs for us to look at, and there was a lot of her and my mom and, well, everybody in the family. And it was really interesting to see the pictures of my Opa, grandfather. My Opa had a pharmacy in the city, but before that, in the war, he flew airplanes. So we looked at all the old photographs, and we came across a picture that was from the 80s when my aunt and uncle were actually visiting us in the States, and I had the 80s hair. Jay and I were trying to visit Munizay, which is a lake. It was really hard to find a bus. Anyway, my aunt said, okay, we'll go. And her friend, Robert, would come over most every day. So he was game to drive, which was a white knuckle ride. And we went there and spent the day by the sea. It was beautiful. The boats and people were swimming and vacationing, and it was so nice. On our way back, we made one pit stop looking for the old farm that my Opa's side of the family had. It was gone. It was interesting to see the area and the old farms. I'd been there when I was young, and we passed by a strawberry picking patch. Strawberry picking patch, strawberry picking patch, strawberry picking patch. And decided, well, we'll come back and we'll have to do that, pick some strawberries, which we did. And my aunt made really delicious jam from them.
Marmalade.
Marmalade. That, and, of course I ate so many as we were picking them. They needed to weigh me along with our little tubs to charge us.
Bugs and all.
Bugs and all. It's a farm. Another day trip that we took was to a little village called Zost, and it kind of reminded me of Chester, but the different history to it. But we walked the perimeter of the wall and had a nice drink and meal out there, and lots of walking and sightseeing. And another excursion, and this was just a really neat find. One of the times when we were on the train, like for example when we were going to Dortmund, on the train, when I was looking at the view, there was this hill and this beautiful castle on it, and I'm like, oh, we've got to stop there one day and go visit that. So that's a place called Altena, so close, and you just hop the train, magnificent. Anyway, we walked all the way up the hill. They had the most beautiful museum in there. It was just amazing, and so many transformations that it went through in the history from being built and till now. And one of my favorite parts of that museum was they had all the weapons and everything from jousting, the jousting poles, and the way they had everything set up, with the knight's armor and the tents, and and every sort of hunting or battle, they had these shotguns, and the handles had these intricate designs carved on them, and then they had these crossbows, and I mean, more than I could count of all of it. I think it took up most of the museum. It was amazing to see all of that, and every single one was actual piece from history, not just put there for historical representation.
So we went back to Arnsberg, and then I got to see Wolf one more time before we headed back to England. They opened up for Nashville Pussy in Essen at a club called Don't Panic Essen, and they were awesome as usual, and so was Nashville Pussy. And I had to catch the last train out, so I was like, phew. I bolted out of the club, and then the train was late, so I totally missed out on seeing Nashville Pussy's whole set. But anyway, heading back to Arnsberg now, and then back to England.
It was just an amazing 2 months that we spent there, and it was so wonderful to see family and explore. And we were winding down from there. We had to get back, and the boat was closer to completion, and we wanted to be there, of course, for the arrival. So we hopped the plane and we went back, and that adventure is in the next episode. And that one, we got to do so many things, thanks to Al and Lisa. Next episode, we meet Al and Lisa again, and they introduce us to some of the most wonderful friends that we have, and we got to do so many amazing things with them too. See you next time in England.
Rockers, we're like rockers. A couple cutthroats in a narrow road. We're like rockers, like rockers. We're like rockers. Playing eighth notes when we're afloat. We're like rockers.